Hello everyone. In this video I'm covering the topic of validation, focusing on self-validation rather than being too dependent on approval, on being valued by others. As we go through our lives, a lot of what we do is in some way directed toward receiving that approval, that positive feedback from other people. And this begins from the time we're born, essentially. So as a child, we want our parents' approval and acceptance. We'll do what we can to gain their love and attention. As we get older, we start to direct that desire for seeking approval from others more toward other people in our environment, such as our peers in school, our teachers, our employers, our significant others. If you have children, you may seek your children's approval. So there are many different people in our environment who we may seek to gain that approval from, whose feedback is something that we're looking for to remind ourselves or tell ourselves that we're valuable, that we're good, that we're doing our job the way we're supposed to here as a human being. We often forget to truly just value and accept ourselves, to recognize our own innate worth and value. It's easy to get caught up in doing things to receive that external validation. So it's helpful to take time to reflect, to remind yourself of your own value, to see yourself as a unique expression of the infinite creative being, here to play your own unique role in creation. Let's stop and think about some of the different things that we may do in our lives to seek out validation from others. We may seek to follow the rules or demands that other people place toward us. So we may be very conforming, whether it's conforming toward your parents, your teachers at school, your boss at a job, your romantic partner. There are many different people in our lives who place demands or expectations upon us. And sometimes we kind of neglect ourselves in order to fulfill those demands. We don't always honor ourselves or our own values, our own priorities or well-being. Sometimes in order to create a sense of greater self-worth, people actually devalue others. They may insult or demean other people around them using those put-downs to, in some way, make themselves feel better than others. When we have truly healthy self-worth, when we really deeply value ourselves, we don't need to put other people down. In fact, we recognize that everyone is a valuable being. Everyone is an expression of that divine creative source, playing their own unique role in creation. And we don't have to go to such extremes to compare ourselves to others and put them down to lift ourselves up. We can just appreciate who we are and accept other people as they are. We don't have to force them to change. We don't have to tell ourselves that someone else is worthless or has negative traits in order to feel good about ourselves. In relationships, it's common for a person to go too far, in a sense, to gain the approval and attention or the acceptance of their partner in a relationship. So if you find yourself, in a way, losing yourself in order to please another person, it's time to step back and take time to value yourself, to find more of a balance, to see if that relationship is healthy for yourself and for that other person. Is the dynamic that's playing out there really benefiting each of you? Or is it keeping each of you stuck in your own insecurities? Sometimes a person who is very demanding, who has very high expectations for others, is actually in some way compensating for their own insecurity or own lack of self-worth. They may be looking for other people to shower them with attention, with praise, with positive support or feedback. And sometimes that's a sign that they haven't developed enough innate value or sense of worth within themselves. So they've become too attached to or too dependent upon other people giving them that support, giving them all of that positive attention. Sometimes those demands or expectations are really unrealistic, and if the other person is unable to meet those expectations, to give that level of attention, of visible signs of caring, then the person feels devalued, so they take it personally. If you're in that role, in that position, where you, in a sense, need too much attention from other people, you need that constant feedback showing you that someone else values you, appreciates you, and approves of you, then it's time to work on yourself, to find that sense of value and worth within your own being so that you don't overreact to other people not giving you that type of feedback. For people that are adolescents, teenagers, it's common to do things that are harmful or risky in order to receive approval from peers. So adolescents may engage in various forms of risk-taking behaviors to be accepted by peers, especially peer groups. So they may engage in delinquent types of behaviors. They may consume illegal drugs. They may do something that's actually illegal, which would be a delinquent behavior, but maybe to an even more extreme sense than just doing some ordinary types of teen pranks. So someone might steal something as a way to get attention from peers. Sometimes people do things at that age that they later regret. So if you have teenagers, if you're a parent, it's important to help them develop their own sense of self-worth, to really stand up for their own values, to see that that is important and that it's not necessary to give away your own values, your own priorities, just to fit in with others. Of course, it's not only teenagers or adolescents who may do that. Adults often fall into that same pattern, where they will do things in order to receive social approval. If we really value ourselves, then we won't be as dependent upon others to feel that we're appreciated and accepted. In fact, it's okay with you if you're not accepted, if you're not appreciated by people who don't share your values. You'll see that as okay, that you don't really need their approval. You really just need to be okay within yourself with who you are, with how you are living your own life. So the reminder here is to validate ourselves, to see our own value, to really feel comfortable with who we are, confident and content within ourselves. The more we're able to do that, the more we can accept and appreciate other people as they are, and the more healthy our relationships will be. We won't allow other people to exploit or manipulate us, and we won't need to exploit or manipulate others. There will be more of this healthy mutual respect and acceptance. Our value comes from our spiritual essence, who we are as spiritual beings. We don't have to receive the approval of any particular group or any particular person. As we're children growing up, having the people who are close to us, particularly our parents, give us positive feedback does help us build our self-worth. So when we're neglected, when we're abused or abandoned or mistreated in various ways as a child, it often does have an impact upon our sense of self-worth, on how we see our own value. And we may go through our lives compensating or attempting to somehow make up for what we feel we didn't receive from those caretakers. However, it's helpful to release whatever happened in your childhood, to be at peace with it, to forgive those caretakers and other people who are close to you for any limitations they had, for any ways in which they neglected to remind you or show you your own value and worth. It's now up to you to reconnect with the truth of who you are, to see your own value and worth, regardless of what anyone else in your life has said or done toward you. I appreciate the time that each of you have taken to view this video, and I invite everyone to watch more of my videos on YouTube, as well as to visit my website, www.phinsights.com. That's PHINSIGHTS.com, to find additional videos and information related to holistic health, spirituality, and personal growth. For now, I'd like to wish everyone a wonderful day. Namaste.